everyone, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So today we have my Pan That Face palette update. I'm so excited about this, you guys. So you guys know that I repressed one of my two palettes. I recorded the whole thing. It is on my channel. I'll put it up in the iCards if you have not seen that. So today we're going to do the next update. For this. All right, let me get to it. So if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a dash of Project Pan. If that is something that interests you, subscribe, join us. And now without further ado, let's get on with this update before I go crazy. All right, you guys, I am so excited. I am so excited about this update. We are a little over halfway through the year, you guys. So that means I only got less than 6 months probably to do some more damage to these face palettes. So we're gonna start off with this one. This is my Love Lush palette by Too Faced. And oh my goodness, this is so dirty. Give me a minute. So as you guys know, we were working on Baby Love, which is the second to the left blush. That blush has been touched in the past. I do want to make that clear. That blush is not brand new. I did use it quite a few times in the past before I got to it. As you guys can see, it was touched, but not, you know, abused at the point of it looking abused. And now when you guys can see that, I actually hit pan on that blush. I don't know how I did that. I couldn't even begin to tell you guys how I did that. So with this one, I will say this. I noticed as soon as I started to use this blush's formula was completely different from these two. These two were densely packed in here. I can tell you that, and many I'm sure can agree with me, because when I've seen individuals have these as single pan ones that they've gotten free with gift with purchases, these are the two that I always see are free gifts with purchases. And everyone says that it doesn't take much. You guys can see that I really didn't hit pan, and I've used it the same amount of time as I've been using this one. This one was a lot softer, a lot more crumblier, a lot more loosely packed than these two by far. That is the reason why I was able to hit pan. My mouth dropped when I hit pan. I looked at it and I'm like, what? People are gonna think I was eating this blush. It's a whole different formula. I don't know if it's because of the color difference or because I already had used this a little bit, it loosened it up. I could not even begin to tell you, but I have hit pan. I'm very excited about that. I do like this blush. I could finish that blush. Now I have about another month. I think around September is when I'm gonna roll this one out. So yeah, I may be able to finish that one. So that might be my very first finished one in here, you guys. I'm gonna give myself, I'm gonna continue to use that one. I will be dabbing into these other ones just because I want to get more use out of these three. Since I really haven't used these three, I do want to use them because I want this whole palette to look like I used it. I still like this palette. I'm still rocking it. I'm still enjoying it. I've been having fun with my Shop My Stash blushes as well. It's been giving me the liberty, because that one's so loosely blushed, to be able to use more of those, which I'm currently using one of those right now on my cheeks. But I do like this one. I think that I will be able to at least use most of that specific blush in this Project Pan. So I'm very excited. That was not something I planned for or expected at all, but it's a good, happy surprise. Now let's move on to my Too Faced Sweet Peach Glow, the one that started this whole entire situation going on. So you guys can see from the last update, you guys saw that I needed to repress this. It was getting hard around the edges. The grids were getting on my nerves. They were kind of ruining my brushes. So as you guys can see here are the 3 grids that I pulled out of that palette. And obviously 2 out of the 3 you guys clearly saw in that repressing video. So you guys can see in the repressing picture how much product I had left. I posted it on my Instagram. Everyone saw. And now you guys, quite a few of you guys called it. As you guys can see, this palette, all I have left is the blush and not much of it. I'm very, very happy with this. This is so exciting for me. I knew I was going to blow through this a little bit quicker, but I didn't expect to blow through it as fast as I did. The first thing that went was the highlighter. So that was the first thing that went. And then the bronzer it followed. It looks like I have product there, but it's actually the blush. See that? It's actually the blush that's been blowing in there. I finished both of them. Completely finished both of them. Now, a few of you had asked how did the formula change, anything of that nature. This is a gelée formula. So obviously if you repress a gelée formula, it's gonna change the formula completely. I do not have that machine to make this gelée. I don't have that oven to bake it, however they do it. I don't even know if they bake it, to make it into a gelée formula. So of course, if you're repressing a gelée formula, it's gonna automatically change the formula. It's gonna make it, it made it a lot looser because it wasn't that densely packed in there with these grids in there. It didn't have the grids to hold it down. So it made it a lot more loose, a lot easier to use, and a lot more powdery. I will say that this is the first time I repress a gelée formula of any kind, and I am well aware that it is difficult to repress a gelée formula because if you don't do it correctly, it will crumble up and break. My suggestion, if you are going to repress gelée, is use the least amount of rubbing alcohol as you possibly can with that formula. That way it doesn't crack on you and then you end up breaking it whole apart and having to repress it yet again. So that's what I ended up doing. You guys can see that I still, like if you look up close, it's still packed in there. It's densely, and you could still get some pigment off of it. So I did not go crazy when it came to pressing this in. I made sure I used the least amount of rubbing alcohol and blended it really well and then packed it down as best as I could to not ruin the actual product and waste it. So it became more powdery. It was, actually had to change my brushes because when I was using it through a gelée formula, I had to use a lot more rougher brushes and it was too much when it ended up being this way. So I had to change my blushes to a lot softer brushes. So that's another thing I also had to change. I will say that the peach scent did not leave. It still smells like peaches, you guys. The same exact way it smelled when it was brand new and me using it throughout these years. It still smells the same. This blush still smells like it. It did not go away. It did not go away. I will predict this will be gone by next month. This palette will be done next month. I know it. There is no way that this is gonna last me any longer than a month. I think this will last me less than a month. You guys, like, I am beside myself. I started out optimistic this year. I started to lose hope. Then I hit pan, and now I'm to the point where I'm gonna basically be done with this palette next month. Holy cannoli. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I've been using this palette now this summer. This summer completes 2 years of me using this palette. Not nonstop, but here and there. I panned the bronzer first, then I went to the blush, and now I bounced over to the highlighter this year. So it was a gradual thing. It wasn't a consistent nonstop, but I'm shocked. I can't believe it. And I will keep this packaging. I tend to keep packaging of everything. I don't know why. I repurpose a lot of things. Like this is perfect for me to repress items in because it's not, I don't have any of the grids. I don't have anything to hinder it from pressing nicely and flat. So I am definitely going to keep it. I love the mirror. I love the whole tin feel of this, and the packaging is really pretty. So I am going to keep the packaging. I did not expect to be done this early. I swore this was going to last me all year. I was not going to get anywhere with it. And lo and behold, we are here, you guys. We are here. So I'm only going to have this palette left for the rest of the year. And I got about 6 months left of it. So I will continue to use this. What I think I'm going to end up using, I'm going to start to rotate some of my face palettes to go along with this to see and to get feel of what I should pan for next year. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to continue to use this palette for the rest of the year, which I know I won't finish this whole entire palette. But I know I want to see and get a taste of what it is I want to pan for next year's face palette. So I'm going to be pulling different face palettes out, and every month I'll share with you guys which ones I pulled out, and maybe you guys can give me suggestions of which ones I should pan for next year. That way I can have fun, still get use out of my face palettes, because I really haven't touched any of my face palettes at this point. This whole year, these are the 2 face palettes that I've been using. I've been rotating all of my single products, but not my face palettes. So now this has given me the liberty to bring in face palettes every month, a few every month, to really get a taste of them, really see what I like, if there's anything that I really don't like, or I'm thinking I want to pan, but then I'm like, maybe that's not a good idea. Or you guys can give me suggestions. So I will share with you guys which face palettes I will be using going forward. So you guys maybe give me suggestions on that, and I can tell you guys whether something's good or not too. So that's where we stand on here, you guys. So I definitely can see myself having more pan on this one, and then you're going to see more usage on these because I do want to start using those, and then this one will be gone. It's kind of bittersweet, you guys. I'm sad. I know I never there wasn't one time where I was over this palette. I may have gotten frustrated with it, but I never lost the love for it that I had for it. I still enjoyed every one of the products in here. If the blush and the bronzer was separate, like if they sold those separately, I would hands down reconsider buying those. The highlighter, not so much. It was still too dark for me. I didn't really like the tone of it too much, but it still worked and it looked pretty on my skin, so I made it work. But as far as the blush and bronzer, those were my two favorite things out of this one. So I'm happy. I'm just happy, you guys. Oh my gosh. I know. So that is the update for you guys. I hope this inspires some of you guys to use more of your face palettes. This is fun. This has been so much fun, and it's just gotten me to get more use out of my things, and I'm going to have one less face palette in my collection. I didn't think that would happen without decluttering something. That's exciting. So thank you guys so much for watching, you guys. I'll put more videos right over here for your enjoyment. Until then, bye guys.